nowhere for you to go.
We gotta take care of each other. We all we got.
Just gonna be us and them.
So now it's time to prepare for the season finale of Raising Kanan Season 2, and it really is a bittersweet moment. I'm sure we're all excited to see what happens from the various storylines with our characters, but it's also the last episode of Season 2, and arguably my favourite from the Power universe. But having said that, as it's a season finale, they're gonna leave us with a lot to talk about going into Season 3, because not only will they tie up loose ends from Kanan's and Raq's relationship, Detective Beck, the war with the Italians, Lou's rift with Raq, and everything else, they're also going to set up some new storylines. In the week, I broke down a new player on his way for Season 3, but we may just get our first glimpse of him in Episode 10, and that's the godfather of NYC, Stefano Marchetti. But there's also the fallout from last week, Cartier's death, Famous killing Freddy, Crown's corpse, which may come back and haunt Lou, and there's also the added dilemma of Scrappy's mom, so there's a lot that can occur from even death that occurred in Episode 2, but I'm expecting one hell of a bloodbath in Episode 10, because Marvin Thomas of Season 1 is back. But we're gonna run through all things Episode 10 in this preview, breaking down the exclusive images and clips. So with that being said, the title of Episode 10 is If You Don't Know, Now You Know, and the synopsis reads, decidedly his own man, Kanan strays further from his mom and sets up shop on the corners of South Jamaica. Worried about retaliation, Raq questions Unique. Lou's rift with Raq grows even further when he makes a discovery. Now I think there's only one place to start, and that's the story surrounding Kanan Stark, because surely at some stage we're going to see this relationship between him and Raq explode, and I wonder if Beck has given the ammunition to Kanan to finally go and question Raq, not just about her lies, but also her past history.
Because I know it's not a good look to be a cop's kid. It's even worse when your mom was a snitch.
Yo, certain lines that never get crossed, not even by 5-0. So for you to say some shit like that?
Now, I'm not sure what Beck was trying to achieve by stepping to Kanan and divulging in the information she did, and I've been saying it all season. This has all the vibes of a mixture of Greg Knox's obsession and Cooper Sax's annoyance. So following on from this arrest, which I'm not 100% sure whether Beck will go through with, but I fully expect that to at least happen to Beck in Episode 10, is her losing her badge, if not being killed, because she is being investigated by internal affairs. It was actually Captain Baptiste who sent Detective Edward Salinas to try and get evidence against Beck, and so one way or another, the walls are really closing in for Detective Beck. Now, on the flip side, the ramifications of Beck overstepping and giving Kanan this information about his mom being a former CI and a snitch is gonna be huge, because one thing the streets don't take kindly to is a snitch, and the relationship between Kanan and Raq isn't exactly in the best of places. So could we finally see him confront Raq? Because so far they've been talking in half-truths and riddles, but as each passing week, we are getting closer to them having this explosive conversation, and I'm wondering whether it's gonna happen in Episode 10. We're also going to see Kanan seeking comfort with Detective Howard, and from the change of clothes, it does suggest it may be from a different day to when he's been slinging dope on the streets, because we are going to see Kanan back in the streets. But the product that Kanan is going to be selling is from the projects, and we do see him taking a stash in the official trailer for Episode 10. And maybe he feels like he needs to make some money for Famous, because not only is Famous about to be homeless, with Kanan moving in with fame, Kanan could also find himself homeless, although I very much doubt his uncles would let Kanan live on the streets. But Kanan is starting to become his own man, and with great power comes great responsibility. So let's see how he handles this responsibility. Now this war is going to be one hell of a bloodbath, which it all stems from Marvin sending Marco to kill Tony Deep, but getting killed by Dominic by accident. But this was Marco's fuck up, and Unique did make sure Sal heard that. But regardless, he wants blood and retribution not just for Marco's death, but for Jimmy's as well. But they do need prior approval from the godfather of NYC, Stefano Marchetti. Now I have a funny feeling Tony Danza may just end up being a fan favourite, and he's got the role of being New York's most powerful man. So we're gonna see this meeting between him and Sal, and let's see how shit goes down, because from where I'm sitting, it really doesn't look good for Sal. He's lost Marco, he had to kill Dominic, and now he's lost Jimmy, and no doubt, he's about to lose a whole lot more, and possibly his own life. Because the Thomas family, they ain't playing games, they're after blood, and Marvin Thomas is gonna be a force to be reckoned with. but Raq also looks like she's under some pressure because who knows what's lurking around the door. But I fully expect the Thomas family to come out on top in this war, but at what cost? Will there be any blood spill from the Thomases, or are they just walking into an even bigger trap with Stefano?
But with all due respect, Sal, Marco fucked up the job, man. Kinda tough putting your kids fuck up on mom.
Now, Unique's role really can't go underestimated, because not only did he tell Sal his own son fucked up the job, he held it down and stayed true to himself when he didn't snitch on Raq. And so we're gonna see him telling Raq there's gonna be blood on those streets. And Unique is also another character who's quickly cementing his place as one of the fan favorites after holding it down with Sal Baselli. But how does Unique play this? Because he can just sit back and watch this bloodbath unfold, or he can pick a side, and if he does pick a side, I think he's gonna pick one for his own long-term gain. Because let's not forget, Raq took everything from him, and it may not seem it now, but Unique is definitely a king, and he's playing the long game of chess, not checkers. One character who I really do worry for, especially considering he wants out of the game, is Lou. We all know how the story goes with those who try and leave the game and do good in this world. It never seems to work out, because there's always something in the past that can catch up with them, and for Lou, he needs to watch out for Crown's corpse and Cartier's death. He's going to be in deep conversation with Ziza in this scene, maybe about Cartier's death or maybe about Crown's body, because we might see law enforcement come through the doors of Bulletproof Records, questioning the death of Crown. But not only does Lou have a problem with Crown's death, Cartier's death also means there's no investment into Bulletproof Records, and so we're gonna see him approach the bank for a loan. But we've just scratched the surface for Lou in episode 10. He's about to make a discovery about Raq, and it's gonna be one of three things: Raq being Howard's CI when she was 16, Howard being Kanan's father, or Scrappy wasn't a snitch after all, or maybe all three. And this is gonna put a real thorn in their relationship between him and Raq. So we are gonna see something very similar to the end of season 1. Now elsewhere, something we've not seen Beck come back for is her favor from Duke. So rewinding it back to the beginning of this video, could we actually see Beck be thrown a little lifeline thanks to Jukebox? It really is something worth considering. Now there's also the fallout from Freddy's death and the old man behind this door who heard Famous's name, so we could potentially have a snitch problem. And finally, I'm hoping to see more from this relationship between Marvin and Duke, and it is something I think will continue to grow as we go into season 3. But that's a preview for all things episode 10, and let me know how you guys see this playing out, from the war with the Italians to Kanan finding out Raq was Howard's CI and the rest. Drop all your predictions down for the season finale of Raising Kanan season 2. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.